All right, hey everybody. Another video today, and this video is going to be based off of a question asked by Will Stonier, who I'm now going to give a title to. He is my assistant program director. It was a great question. He asked, would it be beneficial to write out solos over tunes? And I'm going to say 100% yes. That is one thing that Larry McKenna had me do in my lessons. Larry would write out solos for me and every other student that he ever had, at least in the beginning stages. He would write out solos, and in those solos, there was vocabulary. So he would share beautiful vocabulary over standards, and then kind of left it to us to pick and choose which vocabulary we would extract from the solo and then work through keys and then plug into stuff. So just as a sidebar right now, I had said this in another comment to Ray Corey. So Ray, if you're out there, shout out to you too. But Ray was real positive about the Larry McKenna post. And I had said to him in a comment, you know, a lot of people, me included, have paid money, a lot of money over the years for jazz etude books, where these great players write these solos over tunes. And then you buy the book and then you play through the etude. Larry did that every week in my lesson, and I know in anybody else that he taught. He would write a tune, a title of a tune, and then he would write a solo. And it would take him about 5 minutes or so, never using a piano. He would just sit there with his mechanical pencil. Oh, I wish I had one, but with me right now. But a yellow mechanical pencil, and every once in a while he would just screw the tip on the pencil, or he very rarely erased, although he might from time to time. But it was like very rarely that he would ever erase. It was almost like watching the movie Amadeus, where, you know, Mozart is just dictating to Salieri like what is already in his head. So there's never anything wrong. So that was Larry. Larry knew exactly what it was going to sound like because he had it in his ear. So he would just write these solos out, and they were beautiful, brilliant solos. And I've put a couple of them up already, and I have some more stuff. But getting back to the question about writing out solos, every once in a while, Larry would, after he had written out a couple of tunes or given me certain harmonic devices, Larry would then say, okay, write a solo over this tune and use these devices. So I have an example coming up here that I played. Larry gave me the song "The Girl Next Door," which beautiful standard, beautiful. And then I wrote a solo. So be kind. The solo that I wrote, it was probably, again, 35 years ago. Yeah, probably right around that, 33, 35, somewhere in there. And the devices that I was using, that I was working on at that point, were some diminished devices, some diminished scale stuff, a couple of enclosures, and then a big deal for me was the major triads based off of the diminished sound that you could get from a dominant chord. That's a lot of words, but let me explain. So in the girl next door, is it the boy next door, the girl next door? Hold on a second. I may be saying it wrong. Yeah, the girl next door. Okay. Anyway, in the girl next door, there are G7s. So if you have a G7 chord, one of the devices that Larry showed me and showed a lot of people was that there are basically 4 triads that can be used over the G7. It's all based off of the diminished scale. But those 4 triads would be a G triad because it's a G7, a B flat triad, major triad, because the B flat would be like a sharp 9, a D flat triad or C sharp triad, it really would be a D flat triad, I believe. Either one, doesn't matter how you think of it, and an E triad. So I have one pattern in there in the solo, actually 2 patterns that I talk about, or that I use that diminished sound. So at the end of the day, what is the purpose of writing out the solo and why is it beneficial? It was beneficial for me, and Larry, I think his point was to understand the device or devices that he gave over certain harmony. He wanted to see me input it in the right spots so that I now could have it in my ear, whether it was exactly what he wrote in previous solos or if I was manipulating it a little bit. And I did a little bit of both in this solo on The Girl Next Door. So I play the melody, I play the solo that I wrote out, and then I played just an improvised solo, which by the way, is not that great. But anyway, I didn't want to do it over again because I'm lazy. So hope you enjoy this, and I hope to get more ideas based off of this video. But yes, it's beneficial, and everybody should try to do it, but probably start easy. Oh, and about that solo, when you write out solos, rests are good. I didn't realize that. I just wrote this long solo without rests. I didn't think about phrasing because I think I wrote it on the piano and not on the saxophone. And you can tell that it's not a real good solo because it's not well spaced with rests and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's hard to breathe and play it. So, all right. So I'm going to drop that other one, the other video right at the end of this. There you go. Thank you, Will, Assistant Programming Director. All right, everybody. Happy practicing.